What's going on, guys? Hope you're having a great day today. My name is Steve. Thank you so much for stopping by my channel. Today, I'm joined again by my wife, Lindsay, and we are going to be looking into the British Library in London. And after we get done with this generalized video, we're going to check out the King's Library Tower in the British Library. We were looking for a really good video to kind of give us a great tour of the British Library and whatnot, and there doesn't seem to be a ton of videos with tours and whatnot. So I think this video will probably be a pretty good tour video, and then the King's Library tour videos from the British Library channel themselves. And so that should be pretty thorough, I believe.
I'm so excited. I've been wanting to do a library video for since the start of you letting me be on here.
She loves libraries, guys. I think I said that in a previous video that she was actually almost going to go to school to be a librarian. She worked in libraries growing up, and she has the love for books and just...
So if you guys have any suggestions for videos about some really awesome libraries in the UK, please leave them because we haven't been able to find much on our own. So
Right. So we decided to go with the British Library today because it's just quintessential the British Library. And so...
in London.
Yeah, in London. So just thought this would be a great one to start with, but we definitely want to explore other libraries throughout the UK and Ireland. You guys probably have some extremely old libraries, and obviously I know that the architecture in a lot of the older libraries is probably going to be beautiful. I think this library may be newer. I think
this one's more modern.
I don't really know, but should be really awesome anyway.
Yeah.
But you ready to start?
Yeah.
All right, guys, let's go ahead and start and check out a short history and tour of the British Library.
The British Library is a national library of the United Kingdom and is one of the largest libraries in the world, containing between 170 to 200 million books from around the world.
Oh,
There is a
wow.
nice courtyard.
This is my dream. Oh, wait. That's not the library.
No,
back there.
but
Okay,
I was
that's
just
the
like, it
church.
caught my attention.
Oh, my goodness.
What a beautiful building over here, man.
But I'm excited about the library, too.
Yeah, no, obviously, that's what we're checking out. But yeah, this looks like a massive library.
And it is modern, but can you imagine?
Roughly 200 million copies. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
I would get
Insane.
lost in there.
I would
probably wouldn't ever come back.
I sort of say I probably would never see my wife again. She would be gone, and I would probably get a note saying she's getting divorced and marry in the library, or she's gonna find a librarian there, and she'll marry him just so she can just stay around the books.
Anyway, all right, let's see it.
Outside the library that you can explore. The library is a legal deposit library, which means the British Library contains every single published book throughout the UK and Ireland. Around 3 million new books are added each year.
Wow.
Coming is a remarkable 12-foot bronze statue of...
Hold on.
Every book published ever
In the UK and Ireland.
I can't even fathom it.
That's insane. How? Wow.
We're not even in the library yet.
Oh yeah. It's good to get the history though.
Yeah.
Sir Isaac Newton. It was designed and created by Edoardo Palozzi in 1995. The British Library was part of the British Museum and was opened in 1753. However, in 1973, the library separated from the British Museum and became its own entity. The library also contains a cafe and a theatre for shows within. Over 1.6 million people visit the British Library every year. In 1998, the building became a Grade 1 listed building and shifted to a new location in St. Pancras.
When? What year?
It was unveiled and opened by
98.
Queen Elizabeth II.
Okay.
Here are the statues of...
All right. So far, what we got is this is the largest, almost one of the largest libraries in the world. I think it is the largest library in the world when it comes to copies of books.
The amount of material.
I believe it Yeah, but it has every book ever published in the UK and Ireland. Period. It is massive. It was originally created as part of the British Museum, and then they separated. And then in 1998, this new building is created. Is that what you got so far?
I think so.
Okay, we're on point.
Sir Robert Cotton, Sir Joseph Banks, the Right Honourable Thomas Grenville, and Sir Hans Sloane.
100 years, but the British Library is actually relatively young. When the UK's new National Library was founded in the early 1970s, the first emails were being sent, and innovators like Apple and Microsoft were starting up. We immersed in the area of great creativity and ingenuity, and today we continue to help inspire the next big or small idea. With a growing collection of more than 170 million items and a vast digital archive too, we're one of the largest libraries in the world, and we're here for everyone. In London, at our Boston Spa site in Yorkshire, through our partnership with local libraries across the UK, and in your home schools and workplace online. Wow. Okay. Wow.
Its ball and chain represents a capture of information from which we cannot escape. See if you can spot Inan and Marin here.
The what?
The what?
The current building was designed by Sir Colin St. John Wilson. The total shelving of the books equates to over 746 kilometers, which is equivalent to the distance between London and Aberdeen. The collection grows.
Oh my goodness.
746 kilometers of shelving. Like, off the top of my head, I can't think.
Wait, they must have a lot of shelvers. People
Well, they
put
have
books back.
I think so, a lot of it's probably automated.
Wow.
But
I'd like to see that process.
But, dude, like, off the top of my head, it's like, is it 2.2 kilometers to a mile? Is that what it is? I want to say that's what it is. I could be off a little bit, but
I know 5K is about 3 miles, maybe a little more than 3 miles.
But let's just say it's roughly half the kilometer space. So we're talking 300 and some miles, 350 miles, something like that, of shelves. Like we're talking about literally, like, basically the width of North Carolina.
Yeah. Well, it said it went from London
To
to
Aberdeen.
Aberdeen, Scotland, right? So
Dude, that's insane. That is insane.
yeah, this is my dream. This is amazing.
Would you work there?
Yeah.
Like you would want to work there?
Yeah.
If anybody has the ability to get her a job at the library here, we might move out there.
No,
She would be so happy. She would be in heaven if she could work somewhere like this. Seriously, I'm not even kidding you. I like places like this, and I appreciate them, and I like visiting libraries, and I think it's fun. But for me, I enjoy it. I like it. You beyond love it. Like it's like if I like libraries, like as a favorite thing of mine at a 7 or 8, you like it at a 11, 100. Yeah, like that's how much she loves libraries
and books in general.
And Sophia definitely has gotten that from Sophia loves libraries. She loves books, and just definitely something Sophia has probably experienced. We were just talking about this last night, that at the age of 5, Sophia has probably experienced over 10,000 books as of right now, because on average, I mean, who knows how many books? I mean, she's had books read to her throughout every day of her life, and then every night about 3 books every night before bed. And over that period of time, I mean, like it's just amazing when you look at how many books, because she loves books. By the time she gets 18, 20 years old, there's nobody telling how many books she's going to read at that point. But that's amazing. That's off topic, but just anyway, let's continue.
Goes every year by 8 kilometers, and it is organized underground by robotic devices.
Oh my goodness.
This cabinet is the King's Library, which houses books collected by King George III.
That's the King's Library.
It is made of glass and bronze. and is described as British Library's jewel in the crown.
Wow.
To give you an idea of the scale, if you read 5 items each day, it would take you over 80,000 years to read the whole collection.
Of just the King's
The library is open to
I think
anyone,
so.
and readers can apply for a visiting pass
To the
to
King's Library.
access the collection. This is the treasures of the British Library, and it contains of over 2,000 years of awe-inspiring items in the collection, ranging from Magna Carta and Shakespeare to Florence
Wow.
Nightingale and Gandhi. There is a range of literary, scientific, music, art, and sacred text collections. Some features include original writings from Charles Dickens, Shakespeare's first folio, and Jane Austen's handwritten novels.
Wow.
Other features include a letter from writer, composer, and anti-slavery campaigner Charles Ignatius Sancho, sacred texts around the globe, including a Baha'i sacred text, a tablet written by the Baba in the form of a 5-pointed star, and a Hindu manuscript written on a palm leaf. There is also an 11th century Quran coming from either Iraq or Persia. Michelangelo's anatomical illustrations can also be found.
Incredible. What do you say about it?
Yeah, I mean,
So that's what we're about to check out the King's Library specifically, or King's Library Tower specifically.
Yeah.
Now I understand why it's called the King's Library Tower.
Yeah.
That makes total sense now.
I'm
At
glad
first,
we watched this one first.
right, that makes sense first. But at the time I was like, King's Library Tower. Why is it called the King's Library Tower within the British Library? But all right, now we know. But what do you think?
I want to see it in person.
Yeah.
But the problem is, I feel like that's all I would have time to do. I mean, seriously, it would take so long.
All right, so now we're going to check out a tour of the King's Library Tower. This is actually presented by the British Library themselves, so this should be pretty thorough, I think. A pretty thorough look at the King's Tower itself and learn a little bit about the history and whatnot of it.
My name's Adrian Edwards, and I'm standing here in the British Library in front of the King's Library Tower. This 6-storey book tower contains 2 important collections of rare books: the private London Library of King George III and the library of the gentleman book collector and politician Thomas Grenville. Both collections came into public ownership in the mid-19th century.
Goodness.
But since 1989, they've been here, where they form a centrepiece to the
Wow.
building designed
I'm
for the
getting
British
chills.
Library by the architect Colin St John Wilson. If you visited the British Library, you'll be familiar with the
Wow.
outside of the tower. But today, we're going to take a rare look at what's on the inside. So here we are inside the King's Library Tower. The lighting's quite subdued and the temperature's quite cool. We try to maintain it at around 61 Fahrenheit, 16 centigrade, and a relative humidity of 50%. Those being
Wow.
the ideal conditions for long-term preservation of antiquarian books made predominantly of rag paper, leather, and parchment. The books on my right are those belonging to Thomas Grenville, and on my left we have the backs of the shelves with the King's Library. The King's Library of George III is by far the larger of the 2 collections, comprising around...
It blows my mind that King James III owned 80,000 books.
Yeah, that's pretty.
Just him?
That's
like-
pretty. That's pretty insane.
Wow.
around 80,000 volumes, as opposed to 16,000 volumes. But actually, the 2 collections are quite similar. Both were put together in the late 18th and early 19th centuries. Both contain books dating back to the beginnings of European printing in the 1450s, and both cover the widest possible range of subjects and languages. In fact, both collectors often collected the same editions. They both, for example, have a Gutenberg Bible, a range of capstone
Wow.
editions, and a Shakespeare First Folio. If there is a difference, I'd say it was King George III's greater interest in collecting pamphlets and technical manuals. Let's have a look at a couple of items
my
from the
goodness.
shelves. So this item is from Thomas Grenville's collection. It's the Shakespeare First Folio, perhaps the most famous book of English literature. It was published 7 years after Shakespeare's death and contains 36 of his plays, 18 of which do not otherwise survive, either in printed books or as manuscripts.
Wow.
So plays such as this one, Macbeth, would not otherwise survive. We wouldn't be able to go and see a performance today if it wasn't for this publication.
Oh, wow.
The same applies to other plays
Amazing.
such as Julius Caesar or A Midsummer Night's Dream. So this item is from the collection of King George III and shows his interest in more technical materials. It's a collection of lectures about how to shoe a horse, particularly how to build horseshoes for hooves that are perhaps diseased in some way or other. The lectures are by the professor of the new veterinary college in North London, and they were published in 1793. The printed work is interesting enough, but what makes this special is the accompanying box. This contains 6 plaster casts of horses' hooves
What?
and 6 brass horseshoes. Each one is a different shape. So here we have a convex horse's hoof and the
Oh, that's so
shoe
cool, man.
designed to fit. And I think it's really special that these pieces have all stayed together.
Yeah,
and
that's
intact
amazing.
For well over
Yeah.
200 years. I hope you've enjoyed this behind the scenes tour, and we're really looking forward to seeing you again.
Whether you're returning to the reading rooms or research remotely, we can't wait to see you again. Wow.
Yeah, that's all you can say about
Yeah.
something like that.
That's what I say a lot on these videos because it's just wow, mind blowing, man. To think, I don't know how many miles exactly that was, but 300 and some miles roughly of shelving, the King's Library being so intact like that, and just kind of the way they put that as a centerpiece is beautiful. It's just
It is.
6 stories, just like every book ever created in UK and Ireland are supposedly
Yeah.
at this library, and maybe that isn't quite accurate. Maybe there's been some books that were created that just aren't there, but all in all, I get the impression if they're literally going to say all books that have been created in the UK or Ireland is here, it probably means that basically all books are there. So that's insane. That's insane.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm glad we looked at this.
Yeah.
Definitely have to see it in person.
Yeah, I definitely know. This will be on the list of places we will visit when we're in the London area.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But yeah, what do you think?
Beautiful.
Yeah. You got anything else you want to add?
No.
All right. Guys, thank you so much for stopping by. Please click that like button. Feel free to drop your comments or suggestions about this video or others. And don't forget to subscribe to continue to follow us on our journeys to discover our British and Irish ancestry. Until next time, guys. Peace.
Bye.